My name is Loïs Lenart. I'm a French mechanical engineer from Marseille, and I work for Urban Canopy. Urban Canopy is a startup whose aim is to tackle the problem of urban heat island phenomenon. When you live in a modern city, you usually walk around concrete spaces with lots of minerals where there are not a lot of trees and there are heat concentration in the middle of these cities. Because you have underground railways, parking lots, optical fiber and sewers, it's not really easy to plant a tree everywhere. But with Urban Canopy, we grow climbing plants on light structures. And these plants provide the shade that could not provide a tree where it can be planted. So Urban Canopy has been up and running for 4 years. We have 3 patents already. We have made about 200 of these installations in France, but also in Australia, in Saudi Arabia, in Morocco, in the Netherlands, and other countries in Europe. The structure you see behind me is a glass fiber composite structure that we call an elastic grid-shell. It was developed by some of the best engineers in France, and that makes it really easy but also really resistant, kind of like the shell of an egg. And on these structures, we grow climbing plants that don't require much water, which means that inside of this structure, we have about 4 gallons of water that can be slowly given to the soil among the time of a week, which means that you have no loss of water, and the management is really easy. Inside these structures, we have a small computer that we call a Canopy, which has a water level inside. And connected to your app, you can see what is the water level of your reserve and know when you have to fill up the canopy or not, which means that in the biggest, hottest summer month, you may have to fill it up twice every month. But during the winter, if you don't get a notification saying that your water reserve is empty, then there's absolutely no problem. This technology is made to be completely autonomous. It means that you don't have to plug it into the water network or the electrical network. It has a small solar panel that is enough to give the energy for the computer inside and a small battery. So it's completely self-autonomous. Depending on where your canopies are located, you will get different data from them. You will get the humidity level and also the water reserve levels. You will see how they grow or how they go down over time, and you will know which ones require more water or less water depending on the plants you have inside, how much they catch the sun, and usually the climate you're in. So what we do is we work with local experts in every region we meet. So over there in Atlanta, we went to a special nursery who advised us on which climbing plants to grow. So what we do is we use climbing plants that grow tendrils, so they will wrap themselves around our structures and not damage it, because some climbing plants will try and stick themselves to the walls and the structures you grow them on, and it may damage it. We usually advise our clients to grow local plants and not import exotic plants. And among these local plants, we select a bunch that we find would be best suitable for the climate. And sometimes we grow different type of plants in the same structures. So you will have plants that will grow fast but may die over the winter. And you will have other type of plants who would grow more slowly, but winter after winter, they will grow thicker and denser. And after 4 years, you would have a full 300 square feet canopy completely filled with green. The one that's behind me is called the mini canopy, or canopy S size. It's the smallest one we have in store. It can provide up to 200 square feet of shade. The L model, the big size model, provides 500 square feet of shade. Now these models can be linked together, and the biggest structure we have to date will provide, when it's fully grown, up to 3,000 square feet of shade for only 40 square feet of footing on the ground. We work with urban site works and urban furniture designers to make the canopy more aesthetics, have more aesthetics and fit in with your environment. We have different models called the Contrario and the Olympia, who have wider bases, which makes them self-standing, and they will resist wind. They don't have to be anchored in the ground. Then we can provide benches, we can provide misting, high bar tables integrated into other structures. Water management is really tricky because if you live in regions that are prone to drought, our water management reserve is extremely smart because you have no loss of water. But if you use misting, then you have to use clear water that is non-toxic for the children and the people that will go down in it. So you have to plug it into a water network. Our canopies have always been extremely well received in the cities we installed them in, because you go from an empty concrete space to a space that is filled with green and shade, and it's inviting to kids and people moving around. You can change a space and a city center that is emptied by the heat into a heaven and a fresh island. It's been really great being in Peachtree Corners for nearly a year now. Peachtree Corners has really welcomed us in the region. We've been really grateful to have them help us install the first canopy in the US, that you see behind me. So the Curiosity Lab network has been great to meet the people that would help us fit our product to the US standards, because we want to make sure that this can be installed everything approved by engineers and just safe for the people around them. We were really lucky to be introduced to decisive actors in the field of landscaping and urban furniture in the region, and we hope that partnership with them will grow stronger thanks to the Curiosity Lab. There's a real synergy and a lot of networking that you can do at a Curiosity Lab, where we met management from nurseries and landscape architecture companies that will help us develop more in the country. The French Tech Network has been instrumental in making Urban Canopy happen in the US. The French Tech has been behind giving us access to the FACC in the Curiosity Lab and us ending up here. I think French and America have this friendship relationship that's been going on for centuries, and it's probably going to go on for a really long time. Urban Canopy's future is really meant to be a major actor in the needed greening of urban spaces. We hope to develop larger, wider structures that will be essentials in cooling down the cities in our modern world. I'm definitely passionate about engineering and problem solving. And Urban Canopy is just one actor that can help a small part of a bigger problem that is climate change. After working with them, I hope to move on into a PhD in climate science.